Getting started with the MyAMSOILGarage service is easy. To begin, simply go to the Add Equipment link in the upper left corner of the screen. To get started, you must first choose a type of equipment to add to your MyAMSOILGarage account. Follow these steps to add a new piece of equipment. First, use the drop-down arrow to select an equipment type from the list which we have provided. There are many different types of equipment within this list, and a brief description of each will appear to the right as they are selected. Next, name the equipment. You will be referring to the equipment by this name in order to find it later. For this example, we will call it My Car. When you are ready to move on to step 2, click the blue Next button on the right. Next, we need you to define some details about this equipment which will help us provide AMSOIL product matches or recommendations. These details will also allow you to track various maintenance procedures for the equipment. The details will be different depending upon the equipment type that you are attempting to enter. For this example, we must first enter a year. Use the drop-down arrow to select the year in which this equipment was manufactured. Next, use the drop-down arrow to select the make of this equipment. If you cannot find the make within the alphabetical list in the drop-down menu, you can click the link next to this menu to enter your own custom make. Next is model. Use the drop-down arrow to select the model of this equipment. Once again, if you cannot find the model within the alphabetical list in the drop-down menu, you can click the link next to this menu to enter your own custom model. Finally, for this example, we need our engine details. Once again, use the drop-down arrow to select the engine details for the equipment. If you were able to find the make and model of this equipment in the menus above, you can choose from one of the known engine configurations AMSOIL has on file. If not, you can also enter your own custom engine by clicking on the link next to this menu. Note that when entering a custom engine, make sure to include all of the details you may need to choose a product for maintenance at a later time. We suggest including engine size, cylinders, and engine code if known. When you are ready to move on to step 3, click the blue Next button on the right. If you would like to go back and make changes to details from the last screen, click the previous button. This final step allows you to enter some optional details regarding the age of the equipment and the estimated use in miles or hours per year. If you prefer, you may enter a purchase date for the equipment. You can enter it in day, month, year format, or use the calendar assistant link to the right to choose a date. The next field allows you to enter the miles at purchase for your records. Note that this will change to hours at purchase for some equipment types which measure hours of operation as the equipment age. The miles per year field allows you to give an estimated yearly mileage figure for this equipment. This will allow the system to calculate the frequency of certain maintenance items you may select later on an automated basis. You can change this figure later if necessary. Note that this will change to hours per year for some equipment types which measure hours of operation as the equipment age. The current miles field allows you to give an estimated current mileage figure for this equipment. This will allow the system to calculate the frequency of certain maintenance items you may select later on when you return and update this mileage. You can update this figure each time you review the equipment. Note that this will change to current hours for some equipment types which measure hours of operation as the equipment age. The equipment description field allows you to type in any details you may want to include with this vehicle record for later use. Once you have finished entering any information you wish to include for this equipment, click the blue Finish button on the right to complete this equipment record. Once finished, you will have the options of adding services, setting up email reminders, adding additional equipment to your account, or reviewing this equipment you have just created. If you would like to go back and make changes to details from the last screen, click the Previous button. At this point, you have entered your equipment record into your virtual garage account. You now have several choices of activities from this point forward. If you wish to review the information for the equipment record you just created, or would like to see if AMSOIL has product recommendations for this equipment, you can click on the Equipment Details link. If you would like to begin creating maintenance service records for the equipment, click on the Add New Service link. You can also begin setting up email reminders for maintenance service by clicking on the Set Up Email Reminders link. Or, if you would like to add another piece of equipment to your garage account, you can do so by clicking on the Add New Equipment link. If you ever need to get back to view all of your equipment records from your garage home screen, you can click on the Back to Garage link, which is always located in the upper right corner of the screen. And if you have any difficulties remembering what each of these options means on the screen, you can click on the question marks next to each choice to get a quick reminder.